What is going on? It's the last Rando recap of the season. We haven't done one in a little bit. Life's been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The tournament times are all kind of funky, and it's a late one tonight, but we figured we would jump on here and do one last one to recap the season, celebrate the good,
Celebrate the bad.
so yeah, that's a good way to put it. Celebrate the bad. It's unfortunate.
Well, not celebrate, but
Yeah, well, celebrate the dudes who won't be here anymore. We'll talk about Ortega and Zell and that and who we think is going to be back next season. But let's start off with the game. You were out here watching the game with me during the live show.
I was so excited because we got up by 12. 12. Or if you put it this way, 12. And they outscored us by what?
A bunch. It was 31-30 at halftime. So they went on a run. So they outscored us by 1 in the first half, and then it was 10 minutes in the second half. We only had 40, and they couldn't miss a shot. Kept turning us over. The good though, the first bit we came out, we were making shots. Colin Chandler looked like he was going to have himself a day. First 2 threes go in. The first one bounces, hits every piece of the rim, and still goes in. The offense looked good. It was moving. We had some turnovers, but Yelovich was kind of sloppy, but they still had to respect him stretching the floor. There was a bunch of ball movement, and we blitzed them, and we had them reeling. We go into the first media timeout. Mo D comes in, BG comes in. We still go on a run. The offense slowed down a little bit, but they couldn't make a shot. Defense was good. Everything that they had was a contested 2 or a contested 3, very little at the rim.
And
easy at the rim.
Let's also talk about Pope. You sold us the game. You put in Jasper Johnson.
Okay. We're going there already. Be nice. You could talk about it, but just be nice to the young man. Go ahead.
He's a freshman. I get it. But we know Jasper Johnson can't deal with press coverage because we saw him just throw that thing up there. Throw a prayer.
Yeah. So we've seen all season when he comes in, he's not great handling the ball. And if you put a little pressure on him, there's unfortunately a bunch of lowlights out there. Jasper Johnson trying to bring the ball up half court, and it gets poked away from him and stolen. And against Iowa State's defense, where they have some very, very aggressive guards who get up in your face, and I mean, he comes in the game, and it was 2 straight turnovers. I think he had 3 in the minute that he played. His plus minus in the 1 minute he played in the first half was -9. That's the 9-point run they go on when we were up 18-6, I believe, at that point. I didn't understand the move either. Here's the thing. A lot of people are critical of Jasper Johnson and the decision by Pope, and you should be. I think that's more on Pope than Jasper. Like, he shouldn't even been put in that situation. He's not a natural point guard. He's a 2 guard. And he's not experienced like Denzel Aberdeen. He hadn't had the minutes Denzel Aberdeen had to transition to that point guard role. I don't know why he came out. I don't remember people being in foul trouble at that point. I think Ortega collected 2 in the first half. Colin had 2 in the first half, but it was later, and they were still playing. Ortega collected his 3rd early in the second half, but there was a lot of weirdness about that first half. The substitution patterns at that 12-minute timeout were really damaging. Like, we had an opportunity to really put our foot on their neck. They were reeling. Their offense couldn't figure it out, and they got some easy ones at the rim off of Jasper turnovers. We got into foul trouble at that point because one of them was off a turnover that Jasper fouled, and he got to the free throw line. Another one was an and one, and at that point, we didn't have the same sort of confidence in our ability to win that game once they got back into it, and especially I got to imagine they talked about the locker room was still positive at halftime, but I have to imagine that when you feel like you dominated the first half, like you played better, or at least, you were had that opportunity to be at a double digit lead, and instead you go down one at halftime when they hit that three right before the half. That's got to be demoralizing. And you could tell when they came out of the locker room in the second half, they didn't have the same confidence. We kept it close. Otega Oweh kept us in there. It was routinely a 6-8 point deficit. It grew to 12. We got it back down to 10. And then next thing you know, it was a 20-point game. Yeah. And I think that was by the time you left me and went and started playing video games inside, which I don't blame you. If I wasn't on the live stream, I would have wanted to hide anyways. But give me your other takeaways of that game and the second half of why you think they really were able to spread it out.
It's the second half was horrendous. As you could say, a little bit of turnovers in the first half. We had we had
12 in the first half, 20 total in the game. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough to win a game when you have 20 turnovers. But yeah, the turnovers were bad.
Yeah,
couldn't get to the free throw line.
15 and with maybe 7 or no, maybe 11 minutes left to play.
Yeah. And again,
it was rough.
12 of those were at halftime.
Yeah.
And that's what Iowa State does. They put a lot of pressure on the ball. They have two guards that are, very good defenders. The rest are whatever, but they make up for it just by getting in your face. And our Achilles heel all season after J-Lo went down was we didn't have a true, we didn't have a great ball handler. We didn't have, J-Lo was shifty. You weren't going to be able to just pick his pocket. If you pressed even Zell, he just wasn't super comfortable working in traffic. And if there is a flaw in Otega Oweh's game, he's also not a great ball handler. He dribbling in traffic, he's just not great. He can break a guy down one-on-one and he's got a burst. But they were blitzing our guards constantly. We would try to screen at the top of the key, and they just would hedge and blitz, and it would be like a pseudo double team, and we just didn't know how to pass out of that. You double team, a lot of times there was someone either, at that 45 open or in the post open. We struggled with entry passes into the paint all season. And, we just don't have the point guards that had the vision to see it. I got no issues with Zell and what he did. I thought he was phenomenal in the role that he took on. But again, it just, that wasn't his game,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, there's really not much to say. I agree with you that the substitution pattern at the 12-minute mark, I wish we would have just kept what was rolling with us and had us that lead. I don't know if we win the game, but if you go up at halftime, I think there's a little more confidence that you can get it done. The thing that I really, really, really was bothered by at about 6 minutes left, there were multiple times Otega Oweh, he actually got a steal with 4:30 left. And again, we were out of the game at that point. But after that, he was hands out, begging the team to at least fight. Let's at least have some pride. And unfortunately, the guys that were on the court just, I think they felt it was over, and they didn't give us, they didn't run through the tape, as they say. They didn't actually run to the finish line, which was kind of frustrating. But after everything they've dealt with all season, and the injuries and the bad losses and the fan base criticizing, and some accurate, some not, some over the top, some deserved. You could tell. I think they were just it just kind of washed away the season at that point, knowing that it was the last time they were going to play for Kentucky basketball that season, or unfortunately for guys like Otega and Zell, that's their career, Mm-hmm. But let's I see your comment here, but we'll talk about who we want back.
Let me name all of them.
Hold on. We talked about it before the show, how we're going to sequence it. You all jumping around and stuff. I'm trying to produce here. You just want to take over. They want to listen to you anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But let's talk about the season as a whole. We had some bad losses, some really, really, really bad losses. You lose to Louisville. That one's rough. Michigan State, double digits. Gonzaga embarrassed us. But we had some big wins. We want to stay positive. Tell me, what was your favorite win of the season, favorite moment of the season? We actually had a lot to choose from, in my opinion. So what do you think your favorite moment was of the season, whether it was just a play or a win or something like that?
Many of them. I was gonna say one of them, but that was from last year. The one that I was gonna choose is when we beat Duke for the first time in 15 years or something like that.
Like 10 years, yeah. But that was last season. The Moreno Miracle.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Moreno Miracle LSU game, toss from Colin Chandler.
And you said it on the live stream watching the show. That one play, well, not that one play, but like that time he actually showed his hands.
Yeah, he actually caught the ball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Malachi's got to work on it.
And then the Auburn one, he could have had another one.
Yeah, it just dropped it. And then, yeah, that was one where I think he didn't know if he wanted Noah to catch it or if he wanted to catch it, unfortunately. But, yeah, Moreno, if I got one critique of you, I love you, dude. I can't wait to see you next year. Rock Kentucky, you're going to be, all SEC center. I really believe it. Just work on them mitts. Those hands are too big. It can't be bricks. Nice and soft, buddy. Nice and soft. Catch that ball, yam it. That's another thing. Let's stop just trying to, finesse around the rim. Let's go take a body. Let's go hammer that thing home. Slight critiques. Appreciate that. Keep it on. We'll talk about who we want back. My favorite moment of the season was Colin Chandler, the pass from Otega Owe. Colin Chandler hits that 3 to go up on Tennessee at home. That one, the shot you picked, the Malachi Miracle, I think that was, that was a probably more exciting, like in the moment, buzzer beater type finish.
Yeah. And you said, we're never going to get this.
I did. I watched that play too many times. I had zero faith in that play happening, but it did. The reason why I pick the Kentucky-Tennessee game, the Denham game, like that was just such an important moment.
We could not lose in the Denham game.
Exactly. We couldn't lose, and we were down double. It looked so bad, but celebrating the 1996 team, all the hype that had gone into it. Pope puts out Christmas Day, like, hey, guess what? We're doing the Denham game against Tennessee at home. There was so much hype built in. We bought jerseys. Everything was into it. The crowd was there. Like, you just couldn't lose that game. And out of the timeout, Pope draws something up. I don't know if that's how it was supposed to go, but Otega gets downhill, and Colin relocates to the perfect spot. No way Otega was able to actually see him. He just felt him move. That wraparound pass over Okpara or around Okpara, and then Colin Chandler, Captain Clutch, that sends that thing home. And
what a pass.
The only regret that I have was we weren't in Rupp Arena to hear that pop from the crowd, because I can only imagine that place was nuts. You could feel it through the TV. I heard it was insane. State Line Co. shout out was rallying towels there. Like, that was my favorite moment of this season.
Let's talk about the Jalen Lowe no-look pass to Colin Chandler, but you got to finish that, man. You have to finish that.
What game was that? Do you remember?
I
know it was all the fast break. He was on the.
It was against a team that was mainly red, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I forget who. What is it? I don't think it was Louisville. He did play in that game. I don't know, but yeah.
St. John's?
It might have been St. John's. It might have been St. John's.
Because we won that game.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was St. John's. JQ came back that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But I think all in all, it's hard not to say this wasn't a disappointing season.
Yeah.
We start off the year with I know preseason game, but a team that won the Big Ten, a team that's still in the tournament in Purdue, preseason number 1. We go out there and beat them.
The team number 1. Preseason. Number 1 team.
Yeah, well, preseason. They didn't finish that way, but preseason number 1, a lot of hype around Purdue, a lot of returning seniors, and we beat them. exhibition game, I know, but we beat them, and we thought we were on top of the world. Everybody's predicted Kentucky to go to a Final Four. And then, J-Lo's injury lingers. JQ doesn't come back. Cam misses a good portion of the season and really sets him back right when he was starting to click. Like when he started getting some playing time and he wasn't making shots, and we were like, man, what happened to the Cam Williams at Tulane? That was just a sniper. And then he finally gets it going, and he cashes some threes. And
8 threes in that one game. We were in Tennessee when that game happened.
Oh, that's right.
8 threes.
It was 8, right? It was 8. Yeah. He was just was that Bellarmine? All these games are rolling together or something like that. It was against the
it was Bellarmine, I think.
But yeah, he was just starting to really hit his form. Then he gets hurt. So a season plagued with injuries. But when you're at Kentucky and you still have a lot of talent on the team, and we have a coach that we believe in, at least I do, you got to win games. And if you're going to lose games, you can't lose them ugly like we did. And again, some of those losses that were ugly were right after injuries, and Pope's trying to figure out who's on the roster. And you got guys like Jasper Johnson and Trent Noah getting a lot of minutes who probably weren't expected to get minutes based off this roster. But we can't settle. There's reasons and then there's excuses, right? And there's reasons why maybe you don't bless you. There's reasons why you maybe don't reach a Final Four because you have some injuries. But then there's excuses of, losing by 20 and losing games against Missouri and Georgia that you just shouldn't have lost, which resulted in us being a 7 seed. And
Takeaway half-court shot wasted.
Yeah.
And the first time in 4 years, Missouri won in Rupp.
I think that was the first time they won ever in Rupp. Maybe first.
No, that was their 4th time ever winning in Rupp.
Someone beat us in Rupp for the first time. Was that Georgia? Who beat us in Rupp for the first time? Again, to the point of unfortunately a disappointing season and losses that shouldn't have happened, which resulted in us being a 7 seed, which resulted in us having to play Iowa State in game 2 and not making out of the first round of the tournament, the first weekend of the tournament. But let's celebrate somebody real quick. I didn't expect, and I put a tweet out there, 2 years ago, you would not have looked at Otega Owe committing to Kentucky as being the most important signing of the Mark Pope era, right? He was supposed to be an ancillary piece, a tough, a guy who can defend, get downhill, be a physical presence, come in here and be a SEC 2 guard, but not an elite scorer, not someone who's averaging 16, 17, 18 points a game, not someone who is expected to be preseason SEC player of the year, not someone who you would expect to put a team on his shoulders and carry them. And that's what he became. And that goes to his credit of his work ethic and, his that dog mentality that he's got in him of just wanting to be great. I think that goes into his parents' background, his brother being an NFL player. There's a lot of reasons why he wants to fight and succeed. And I thank him for that. It also goes to Pope's development and the staff's development. They really were able to give him a complete game. Did he have flaws? Was his shot a little funky? Yeah. Did it go in a lot? It certainly did. Was he a great ball handler? No. But did he get downhill and score buckets in the most important situations? Yes, he did. The Oklahoma game at Oklahoma where he comes out and drops 25 in the second half, single-handedly wins that game at the buzzer, right? The SEC tournament, same thing. Oklahoma game, Pope has to win game 1 of the SEC tournament because we fired the coach who couldn't win a game in the SEC tournament or in the NCAA tournament. So after the great season he had and beating all the top 15 teams and setting records, you couldn't leave Nashville day 1 losing. And what does Otega Owe do? He hits the game winner. And what I tell you that night when we were watching in this garage,
Otega Owe is going to save us again.
Again, I believed it in my heart. 4 or 5 seconds, whatever he had, he goes downhill and hits that shot. Otega Owe carried this team, and he really saved. There's a lot of people calling for Pope right now. They don't have faith in Pope. There's a lot of them out there that don't think Pope can do it. If we don't have Otega Oweh on this team to get those clutch wins, those buzzer beaters, to get us one extra day in the SEC tournament, could you imagine if we don't have Otega Oweh banking that three against?
I was just about to say
against Santa Clara.
He could go down the court in 2 seconds.
Yeah, he goes down the court and he banks in that three, and we get to play Iowa State because of him. Like it just. You can't say enough about what Otega Oweh did in the 2 years that he was here. You know, all-time leading scorer for a guy who transferred in and played 2 years here. It's incredible. And he's going to go down as one of the greatest to ever wear the uniform, not because he was the most talented player, the highest touted, 4-star, 5-star freshman recruit or something like that. No, just because he's one hell of a ball player. He's got one hell of a work ethic, and he just wants to win, and he fights. And you got your Oweh shirt on. We got an Oweh jersey. It's just, we thank you for your 2 years, man, here, and I hope you get a chance in the league, and I hope you come back and you stay a Wildcat. We see you as the Y one day, and you really truly get recognized for the greatness that you brought over this last 2 years. We fell short. We didn't get to the Kentucky standard while you were here, but it wasn't because of you. I'll just say that. It wasn't because Otega Oweh didn't give it everything he had. And watching him walk off the court, unfortunately, with his head down, like what was in our thumbnail, it just stinks. It kind of gives me the same Oscar Tshiebwe vibe when we saw him bent over in the locker room after losing to Kansas State. It's just like, man, he deserved more. He wasn't able to get it, but okay, moving on from there. Let's give one last shout out to Zell. He came here and he wasn't expected to be a point guard. He was probably thinking he was going to be a 2 or 3 guard, maybe fill that Jackson Robinson role that we were missing. And instead, we have injuries to J-Lo. We don't have a point guard that can play. And he's like, hey, guess what? Pope I need you to play this position. And it's going to be uncomfortable. And it's not going to be the best way to highlight your skill set, but I need you to do it. And what did he do?
He did very good.
He did it, and he did it very well, especially towards the end of the season. I mean, consistently a 5-6 assist guy with 1 turnover. He had a 5-0 game.
From the logo, that 3 with buzzer beater for the shot clock.
Yeah, he came out firing in the first half. Like what he did for Kentucky should be it should be noted too and celebrated as well. Again, wasn't the result we wanted, but look at individual effort and see what they gave us and appreciate that. All right, big offseason though for Pope. We talked about how it was a disappointing season. Year 1, we celebrated him for getting to the Sweet 16. Year 2, we had higher expectations and he didn't reach them. Again, we talked about reasons why that could be or excuses why that could be. We don't really want to hear about that, right? We want to win basketball games. I think this is a make or break season for him, which means this is a make or break off season. We have a lot of holes to fill. We just talked about Otega Oweh. Got to fill that hole. Zell, got to fill that hole. I don't know who hits the transfer portal, but there's probably going to be pieces there that we have to fill as well. Right now, we know Braden Hawthorne's coming back. He committed. I think J-Lo comes back. He mentioned in an article that the plan was to come back. Now there's some speculation that he's not. Who knows? I do think Colin Chandler comes back. He didn't commit to anything yesterday in the post-game interview, but he did talk about how much faith he had in Pope. And he said, I trusted Pope since I was 15. And, he backed up Pope. He was asked the question of Pope's going to receive criticism. What do you think about that? And he supported his guy. So I think he's back. I think Moreno's back. And I got a sneaky suspicion that BG is back. I thought early on in the season he would hit the transfer portal. I honestly don't think he put enough good tape out there where another Power 4 school goes and reaches out to him and wants to pay him more money than he's going to make at Kentucky. And does he really want to downgrade, take less money for more playing time at a non-Power 4 school? And I think the way he played in the last 4 games, maybe bought him some grace back with the Kentucky fan base of like, oh, maybe this is the BG that we were sold the goods on preseason. Tell me who you want to see back on this team, either from the names that I mentioned or that I didn't mention, and who, nicely, who do you think needs to maybe move on and look for a different school to play for?
Let me name everybody that I want back.
Send it.
Anthony Davis.
You gotta have guys that are realistic. And AD probably I don't know. I love AD. It's no knock on him, but he would come back and he would make it a full season. The dude's got to the NBA and he can't stay healthy. But of the guys on the roster, who would you like back?
Spada, Jalen Lowe.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe Jasper Johnson.
You do want Jasper Johnson back?
Yes. Maybe.
No, it's okay. This is your whatever you think. Whatever you think. If you want JJ back, you have him back. I think he maybe should move on and we go replace him. But
no, I was saying if we get someone like a point guard or a 3 guard or 2 guard, probably let him go, replace him. I do want Malachi Moreno back. I do want Colin Chandler, Cam Williams.
What about Yelovich? You want Yelovich back?
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mo D?
Yeah, I'll take Mo D back.
I think you got to have a Mo D on this roster. I just don't think you can replace him. Can he shoot well? No. He made some late in the season that you weren't expecting, but he shot like 19% from 3. He's gotten
because he took 4 of the season.
He didn't take very many. He probably took 10 to 15 at most, if I had to guess, maybe more. I don't know, but he was one of the ones when he shot. You're like, no, I didn't go. And you're like, okay, Mo, great shot. But what he brings to this team, the fight that he brings to this team, and the way he can go, get offensive rebounds, the way he can, play through contact. He's got a motor. Like you need a Mo D on this team. I don't know. There's one in the transfer portal. I would like to see Mo Diabate back next season as well. Is that it? You got anyone else? No.
And I'll say the ones who I want to go to the Trent. I guess I might take Trent Noah back.
Yeah. And I know it's tough to say. Like, you're not saying I want them to go, but you'd be like, if they left, you just be like, I get it. Trent Noah, if he went and played for, similar to Travis Perry, he goes to play for Ole Miss, he's going to get more playing time. Again, if Trent Noah went to a smaller school to get more playing time, I would understand it. I also know that if he stays in Kentucky, he's going to make more money because he's a Kentucky kid, he's going to make NIL money and advertising money. Like, he might not get a lot of playing time. He might get thrown in there. He might get thrown in there, but again, he's more like he's not going to get a lot of playing time. But he will make money if he stays in Kentucky. So it just kind of, we'll see what goes.
We'll see. Talking about the people that I probably will stay back, but it's fine if they go. BG, I'm sorry.
You're done with the BG experience. Maybe we can find another backup center.
It's just he has stone hands and butter fingers at the same time.
Yeah, he finished around the rim most of the season was tough for him. I don't know. I'm a recency bias maybe, but the way he played this week, the defense he played in the Santa Clara game, the way he played in some of the SEC tournaments, you saw the Euro step layup. You're like, oh man. Now I don't remember, or don't forget the breakaway missed layups and missed dunks and the turnovers and the like, oh my gosh, BG, what are you doing? I'm in the same boat as you. I lean bring him back, but if he decided to go to the transfer portal, I wouldn't be like, oh no, we lost. It's just one of those things. I think if he comes back, he can be an asset, but if he does it, maybe you can replace him. The one that I'm mixed on is Yelovich, right? I like his game. I like what he can bring to the team. In that stretch 4 role, he's shown that he can make the outside shot. It really fell off at the end of the season when he's aggressive and tries to get downhill and not playing erratic. He's a valuable asset to what the Mark Pope offense, right? Here's my problem, though. I feel like in Mark Pope's offense, the stretch 4 has to have some sort of post-up game. It has to. We saw how good Andrew Carr was in this offense. He could stretch out the floor. Pope wanted him to even shoot more. But Andrew Carr had one of the best post games in the SEC in college basketball last year. Like, he would get on the block. He was patient.
And Amari Williams too.
Yeah, but even Amari Williams wasn't great with his back to the basket. Like, he was big and he had great vision. He could run the offense. He could facilitate. He was a great passer out of the post, but he wasn't great backing somebody down and really working off the block. Carr was great. He had great footwork. He could finish. He was leading the SEC at one point and won opportunities. I think your stretch 4 has to have that in Mark Pope's offense. Yelovich, we just didn't see that. We saw it a little bit at times, like where you back up a little over the shoulder, a hook shot, or a couple turnaround fadeaway jump shots from the block. We saw it in spurts, but if he's going to stay, he's got to work on that piece of the game. If he can add that to his arsenal consistently, then Yelovich is dangerous, very, very dangerous. I just don't know if there's potentially a better stretch 4 out there in the portal. Now, should you just go get one anyways, even if he's coming back? Yes, make him compete. I think competition is great. But if there's whispers of us going to get somebody, does he stick around? I don't know. I'm happy if Yelovich comes back. If he leaves, I think there could be a better stretch 4 out there. If he comes back, I think he's got to work on that post game. I think it's a must. I'm with you with J-Lo coming back. I know people are mixed on him. They don't think he can shoot well enough. There's a narrative that he's fragile. I mean, he played every game at Pitt. I don't think he even played through injury at Pitt, and he played through injury with us until he just had to have surgery and couldn't play anymore. So I think you have to have, and if anything we saw this season and last season, it's like you can't have too many ball handlers on the roster, right? Mm-hmm. If he's willing to stay, even if you're going to bring in, he didn't have to be the starting PG. He didn't have to be point guard 1. If you find a better one, that's fine. If he's willing to compete or come in, we see Pope wants to play I almost said a bad word. He wants to play a lot of dudes anyways. So they'll still get playing time. He'll still get 20 plus minutes a game, even if he's coming off the bench. You can't have too many ball handlers. Jalen Lowe back on this roster is a good thing, whether he's starting point guard or backup point guard.
Let's also talk about when we were so mad about the UNC game that we had Brandon Garrison as our best player.
Yeah. 10 minutes not be able to score. But again, if you got a point guard, it's different for that game. Your mind just working. It's working. All the pain coming out from this season. Okay. Here, who else did we miss? I think Braden Hawthorne, he's definitely coming back, but I think he's going to be one that slept on. I really do. I don't know how you play Ortega Oweh. I don't know how you replace Zell. You got to go find a killer in the portal. Maybe it's Dink Pate from the G League. He's a combo guard. He can run the point. He can score.
I forgot you can take people from the G League.
Some of them, yeah. And if they're going to let it happen, whatever, I'm not going to be mad at you.
Then why didn't we take Reed Shepherd back?
He ain't on the G League, dude. He's out there balling for Houston, man.
He was in the G League.
Well, because he was making millions and millions and millions of dollars, knowing he was going to get to the league. We're taking the G League folks that are coming back to college are the folks that aren't making in the league. Like, you ain't good enough yet. Come back to college and try to develop. And shoot, if you come to college right now, you're going to make more money than you are in the G League, anyways. Got to go find. Here's what I think we need. Okay. You got to go get another point guard. Got to. You got to go get two guards, a 2 guard and 3 guard. You got to go find 2 guys that can replace Otega Oweh and Zell. He's not on the roster right now. I love Colin Chandler. I really do. I want him back on this team. I think he's important. He is a sixth man. He is a come off the bench, light it up, change of pace. He's not a lean on you 35-minute a game starter. Not yet, in my opinion. So you have got to go spend money and find 2 like dudes, like coming out of the portal, knowing they're going to come to the SEC and kill it type dudes. The ones we missed on last year, like Pierre, Wilkerson, Dent, those guys we missed on last year, you got to land 2 of them this year, okay? Got to replace 2 of them. And guess what? You don't have to wait on Otega Oweh do the draft process. There's no one like that on the roster right now. They're either portal or they're not. You don't have to wait until midsummer to find out they're coming back. So you got money, go spend it, go get 2 dudes. Find guys who can ball out, and then when they commit, let them understand what Kentucky basketball is, right? Like, don't go out there and say, hey, it's Kentucky basketball. Why do you want to come here, right? No. Hey, let's get you to the league, dog. This is what I did for Jackson Robinson. This is what I did for Kobe Bryant. This is what I did for Otega Oweh, right? Go down the list. I can do that for you. Here's some money. When they get here, this is Kentucky basketball. We don't freaking lose anymore, okay? I want everything you got all the time, right? Maybe that's Tyron Stokes. As a freshman, maybe it's someone in the portal. You got to find 2 of them. I don't care who it is. I don't care who's rocking the Kentucky jersey. I just want 2 dogs who can score and want to work their ass off, okay? Earbuffs. That one was too late. Dang it. Anyways. And then
you said 2. That was too late.
What did I say? I didn't say the first one. I almost said it, but I didn't actually say it.
No, I'm saying that one sentence you had 2, that was too late.
I said 2 in that sentence?
Yes.
Dang. What did I say? Almost got you. And then you got to get some big bodies, man. Even if Moreno and BG come back, I need another stretch 4 out of the portal, right? Someone who can just go like a Mo D plus some, right? Like somebody who can stretch out, but also go in and be aggressive, get you boards, like someone who can compete with BG and Moreno. So I want 2 guards for sure, a point guard and a power forward who can come in and build this roster out. Because if you have maybe Cam's a starter, maybe he's not, but if you have a Cam and a Chandler come off the bench, plus you got 2 of those dudes I was talking about, I think we'll be all right. As we will close out this episode, you tell me, you've watched most of these games with me all season. You've heard me rant about some of my, issues with Pope. You also have heard me and seen me defend Coach Pope. How do you feel about him? I think he's got 1 more year to prove it. Do you think next year he can get it done? Or do you think, he's a good coach, but maybe just not the right one, the right fit here at Kentucky?
I think he's going to be really good next season, especially if we can get those good 2 guards, a new point guard. I think he's going to be very, very good as a head coach, and he's going to fit in very well. Some people are saying that he needs to win a natty to prove himself. I don't think he needs to.
Like next year or just ever?
Next year.
Okay.
I don't think he needs to. I think he just has to get us to that good position where people look at Kentucky and are like, oh, that's a really good school. Let's go to there. Let's go to there if we want to go to college basketball. Instead of, oh my gosh, I don't want to go to that team when I grow up.
Yeah. I think he has to. Well, here's where I'll start. I still believe in Pope. I think he's a good coach. And I think the way he works, he's relentless in wanting to be great. I think that's a detriment sometimes. I think he puts too much on his shoulders. I met him. I saw him and talked to him in Lexington Airport, at the Bluegrass Airport. He was exhausted. It was midnight, and he's still out there grinding, trying to get recruits. And when he's on it, some of the greatness of Cal was you knew what he was, right? And he had dudes that would go out there. He would show up to some games. He would make himself visible, but like there was layers to it. Like there was a process. And some of these great recruits that he got, he had people out there working for him. And then when it was the time, and like hey, guess what? You're good enough to come play at Kentucky. Now Cal comes in there and closes the deal, right? And he didn't have to be Cal. I'm not saying I want him to be Cal. I'm just saying I think he needs to delegate some of these things. And it's like, hey, if you want to meet Pope, if you want to meet the head coach who's going to be the one to give you the offer, and you want to start talking money and all these things that come with NIL, like there's steps to it. Let's prove it. There's certain things you got to do, right? And then when you get to meet Pope, it's like, whoa, okay, this is real now, right? There's got to be some some aura behind it. There's got to be some like like a feeling of like, oh wow, this is actually it. I'm not. And if he goes out there all the time, I know players appreciate it, but I think it dilutes a little bit. Plus, it takes him away from the things that matter, which are like focusing on winning basketball games. I think he's a good coach. I think he can be successful at Kentucky. I think he overcorrected, and a lot of people have said this. He went out and he got a roster that was built to fix some of the flaws from last year's roster. And then when a couple pieces got hurt, like not having a left-handed point guard, not having a second point guard at all when Caden Lewis decommitted, it all fell apart and he wasn't able to overcorrect. Okay. I'm making you sleepy? Dang, man. What time is it? It's only 8 o'clock. Killing me. But I think he's going to be able to get it done. I think he comes out in this offseason, and I know we got some issues with NIL and the JMI deal, and there's some limitations based off the AD and all these. I think he finds a way to really bust through that window and goes and gets some guys, and he doesn't miss, and the whole Mark Pope whiff narrative goes away. And I really, really think that this year, we thought it was going to be this last season that just ended. I think this one comes up, and he can get us over that hill. We can't get stuck at a Sweet 16 anymore. We can't be a 5th, 6th seed in the SEC. Like we need to be a top 4 seed. We need to probably be a top 1 or 2 seed. We need to spend a long time in Nashville for the SEC tournament. We need to be in this NCAA tournament for a long, long time. This is the greatest sporting event in the world, and I'm tired of watching it, hate watching it, hoping other teams lose because our team is out of it. Okay. We need Elite 8+ from next year, and we need dark mode Pope, the best that he has to offer. We need it next season. I think he can do it. I really do. And I think the haters that grew this year, the ones that were silenced his first year when I think he was ready for the job and should have been hired, I think all those people are back on the Pope train next season. I'm hoping and praying that it's true. Let's go get some dudes. Let's rebuild this roster. Build it to your system, Pope. To hell with what all the fans are saying. Build it to what you do. All right. Find the guys that fit your system. Okay. Dudes that want to play basketball and grow themselves into professional NBA type talent. And don't worry about what stars they had, what they were in college, what the fan base said. We need this top freshman. If that's not what you need, who cares? Go find the dudes that fit your system because it worked year 1. Let's make sure it works year 3. All right. We got a long time till that happens, though. It's going to be a long off season. Portal opens here in a couple weeks. We'll see what happens. We'll see who decides to leave. Until then, it'll just be a bunch of speculation and nonsense for people who don't really know what they're talking about. And we'll see what, I guess, like September next year, what to bring. But until football season, that's a wrap on Rando Recap. Before we go,
let's see who we want to win for the Natty. I guess Iowa State. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be okay with Iowa State. I have Houston winning the Natty in my bracket. If it's
Yeah,
not,
let's let Houston get their revenge when they beat Florida.
well, Florida's already out, dude. Remember, Iowa beat them last night. But
No, I'm saying from last year, let's let them get revenge on a team.
yeah, Kelvin Sampson. I like Kelvin Sampson. I'd be happy if Houston won. But Ricky P's still in it. St. John's can get it done. We'll see. They gotta. They're clicking right now. They got a scare from Kansas, but they got that.
They beat Kansas in Kansas, or
in the tournament that they.
Oh,
I don't remember. But yeah, this is NCAA tournament, so I forget where they're playing. Before we go though, we want to show this real quick. The shot that will be immortalized at some point. Why isn't this working? There we go. But unfortunately, it's a waste opportunity now. But it will be immortalized. We can put this on the screen. Bam! That's a bucket. All UK ball shirt out at Bluegrass-Elite. Let me pull this up. The QR code, you can scan it and go check it out. Heavy pour 15 gets you 15% off. It's like $25 for the shirt. There's the QR code right there. You're going to want it. You're going to want this bad boy. I know it stings now, but that's going to be one of the greatest shots in Kentucky basketball history. And you can get a piece of it right now. That is his silhouette right there as he takes the shot. And if the legend is true, what he said to Coach Pope, that's a bucket. I don't know if I believe it, but guess what? It was said.
That's a bucket.
It was said, and it was for sure a bucket. Well, buddy, it's been a good season. Thanks for joining me on the Rando recaps. Everybody's watching you anyways, even if you're yawning on TV because I'm putting you to sleep. All right. Until football season, we will be enjoying the offseason, seeing what Pope can do. As always, go Cats. Boom. Go eat your State Line Co gear as well. Feed the Studs coming out. Talk about football season. All UK Ball 25. Go to this QR code. Bam! And get you something. They're doing a giveaway right now. Tag 3 friends. Retweet it. And you can get all 4 hats. But if you miss out, you can get State Line Co. All UK Ball 25. It's like $30 a hat. You can't beat it with the stick.
Is Tennessee still in?
Unfortunately.
Who are they playing?
Who they got? I'll look at the bracket. I don't know.
Well, whoever it is, show up.
Mm-hmm. Why am I blanking? Now you got me. Before we go, let me pull it up.
Didn't Michigan State beat Louisville? Or who beat Louisville?
Yeah, they did. Thank goodness. All right, bring up the bracket. Bam. Let's see. Who does Tennessee play?
Oh, Houston's going against Arizona?
No, that's who I just told you I was picking. Boy, you are sleeping. Oh, they play Iowa State.
Ooh.
Didn't know where they're winning that ball game. No way they're winning that ball game. I should know that because we were going to play Tennessee if we won. I'm sleeping. Good grief. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll repost this tomorrow for the folks who missed it, so we know it was late. But appreciate you, dude. Love you. Go Cats. Peace.